everything I do, they're like, oh, she did this because of this person. She did that because of that person. If I wear my hair a certain way, if I wear some clothes, y'all say I'm copying somebody else. But then y'all say in the same breath, but she can't dress. Most of the stuff I go to the store and pick out myself and put it on. So I'm not copying nobody. But as far as in me rapping, go on my YouTube. I'm gonna put the link on here. I've been rapping for almost 3 years. I didn't just start this. I've been rapping. Why? Because I do what the hell I want to do. Like, I've been doing what I want to do forever. I got rap videos. I've been in the studio. I got songs. I had a listening party the week of my fight. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Nobody is making me do anything. And I'm not trying to be like nobody because, baby, quote is original. The quote is original. I'm the first woman to ever use the word quote. I'm original in everything I do.
For the past few months, people have quietly been watching Claressa Shields, not because they dislike her or want to tear her down, but because her actions often leave them confused. And when confusion keeps showing up over and over again, it usually makes people feel that something deeper may be going on beneath the surface. Let's be clear from the start. This is not a medical opinion, and it is not meant to label or diagnose anyone. It is simply a look at behavior and patterns as they appear in public. The idea here is not to judge, but to try to understand what people think they are seeing. One thing many observers point out is how often criticism seems to be taken as a personal attack. Comments can quickly turn into arguments. Attention can sometimes be treated as proof of love. Visibility can start to look like self-worth. When these lines blur, it can create emotional highs and lows that play out in front of everyone online. Some people say Claressa looks confident. Others wonder if what they are actually seeing is something closer to emotional pressure building inside. There is a difference between feeling strong on the outside and feeling secure on the inside. Highly successful people, especially those who grew up without steady support, can sometimes look to the public for reassurance. When the reaction they get does not match what they hoped for, disappointment can follow fast. This does not mean she lacks talent or drive. In fact, her achievements are clear and impressive. But many believe her personal life tells a more complicated story, one where friendships, romantic connections, and personal identity sometimes blend together in ways that make things messy. Before her current relationship with Papoose, Claressa was engaged to a man named Tony Rich. Tony is a personal trainer from Flint, Michigan, and by most accounts he fit a familiar type. He was active on social media, focused on image, and comfortable in attention-heavy spaces. They were together for several years while Claressa's career was climbing quickly. Big fights, big deals, and a growing public spotlight became part of her daily life. According to people who followed that relationship closely, there were questions even back then. It was widely said that Tony was involved with someone else when he and Claressa first connected. Over time, Claressa became the main partner in the public eye. What stood out to many was the balance of power in the relationship. Claressa appeared to be the one with the stronger financial footing. People talked about how she supported his projects, helped grow his image, and invested in major purchases. Whether that support was returned in the same way is something only the two of them truly know. But the pattern feels familiar to those watching now. A driven woman stepping into the role of provider, not only with money, but with emotional energy and structure, while the man beside her seems less stable in his own career path. In psychology, this kind of situation is sometimes described as one partner doing most of the emotional and practical work in the relationship. That can include solving problems, offering constant reassurance, and carrying the weight of planning and support. Over time, that role can become exhausting, even if it starts from a place of love or loyalty. Looking at Claressa's current situation with Papoose, some people believe they see something similar. From the outside, it can appear that she is once again taking on the role of provider. There also seems to be a strong focus on comparison, especially when it comes to Remy Ma. Many of Claressa's public posts and moments feel like they are not just about her relationship, but about proving something to someone else. When a person already leans heavily on outside approval, this kind of dynamic can become intense. Building someone up can feel like proof of personal value. Earning affection can feel safer than simply trusting that love will stay. Claressa's background is often brought up in these conversations. She has spoken before about growing up in a difficult environment where steady care and emotional safety were not always present. Experiences like that can shape how people connect as adults. Some may become very independent. Others may seek closeness in ways that feel urgent or strong. To be fair, many people agree that Claressa is an attractive and powerful presence. The issue, as some see it, is not about her looks. It is about how she presents herself in public. The energy she brings, the outfits she chooses, and the way she reacts online can sometimes distract from what might otherwise come across as confident and grounded. From a behavioral point of view, this can look like a form of compensation. A need to be the strongest or most noticeable person in the room, even if that means crossing lines that might affect long-term stability or respect. This is where the story becomes more layered. And it is important to say clearly that what follows is alleged and based on claims from unnamed sources, discussed only as part of public conversation, not as fact. For a long time, people have talked about Claressa's stylist and close companion, a woman named Nigeria. She is almost always present in Claressa's life, both professionally and personally. That constant presence has raised eyebrows, even within Claressa's own family. At one point, her sister Brianna spoke out publicly about Nigeria in a very emotional way. That moment stood out because it hinted at deeper tension behind the scenes. One claim, which has not been verified, suggests that Nigeria may have been romantically linked to Tony Rich during the time he and Claressa were together. Another source, who says they are connected to both sides, alleges something different. This person claims that Claressa and Nigeria themselves
gotta have the Nike Dunks with a little paisley print going on, and lots of pristine jewelers and Sam Diamond jewelers. Oh, my Van Cleefs.
Could be that mother. Ooh, I'm gonna throw one to the back so y'all can. Oh goodness. And I got my Van Cleefs Christmas gift from my man.
Were involved in a romantic way, not just as friends or co-workers. The same source goes further and claims that Nigeria was brought into Claressa's relationship with Tony as a third person. According to this story, there were times when visitors would find Tony and Nigeria together in Claressa's home, while Claressa moved around as if this arrangement was accepted. Again, this is all alleged and unproven, but if it were true, some say it could point to a pattern known as triangulation. This is when a relationship relies on a third person to maintain balance, instead of building trust and emotional safety directly between two partners. When people look at Claressa's current relationship, they believe they see echoes of this pattern. Public validation seems to flow through comparison. The connection does not stand on its own. It is often framed in contrast to someone else, especially Remy Ma. In this view, intimacy becomes less about private moments and more about public positioning. It becomes about who looks better, who appears more wanted, and who seems to win in the eyes of the audience. Some observers say this turns relationships into performances. Every post, every comment, every public move starts to feel like part of a bigger message, not just a personal choice. At the center of all this is a question many keep asking. Is Claressa looking for love? Or is she looking for reassurance? Is the relationship about connection, or about proving something to the world? There are no clear answers, only opinions and interpretations.
Speaking on me, and they be having my thing in their mouth. This is what I see. They be having this is my thing. This is my dick, and this they mouth. All on it, all on my, bro. Get off my dick, bro.
What is clear is that her life, both in and out of the ring, is lived under a bright spotlight. Every move is watched, discussed, and replayed. That kind of attention can be exciting, but it can also be heavy. In the end, people who follow her story are not just reacting to headlines or clips. They are trying to make sense of patterns. They are looking at how her relationships begin, how they end, and how she responds when things do not go as planned. Some see strength, some see struggle. Most see a mix of both. And maybe that is the most human part of the whole story. A person who is powerful in one area of life can still be searching for balance in another. Success does not always come with emotional peace. For now, the conversation continues. People will keep watching, commenting, and forming their own views. Because in a world where so much plays out in public, every action becomes part of a larger story, whether the person at the center of it wants that or not.
That girl gay. Why you froze right there? Okay, that's crazy.
Ain't no trying, you doing it.
My friend has a present for you.
Another woman often seems to be part of the emotional picture. Sometimes she appears as a quiet rival, other times as a comparison point, and sometimes as an unspoken standard. This idea may also help explain why Nigeria remains so close. Her role does not look limited to styling or work. She seems deeply involved in Clarissa's personal space, not just her professional life. When secrecy, blurred identity, and emotional overlap mix together, relationships can start to feel unstable. They may grow around hidden rules, uneven control, and a strong fear of being left behind. So whether Nigeria is someone who knows private details, a past romantic connection, or simply a symbol of unresolved feelings, her presence clearly carries weight in this story. Healthy partnerships usually depend on clear boundaries and honest communication. They do not thrive on constant overlap or silent arrangements that no one wants to explain out loud. From a real-life point of view, having another woman always nearby, at home, at work, at the gym, and in everyday routines naturally raises questions. Even if nothing inappropriate is happening, that level of closeness can create tension and uncertainty. This does not mean Claressa lacks strength. Many see her as powerful and driven. The deeper issue, as some observers suggest, is not about control but about feeling secure. That sense of insecurity may connect to early experiences where steady support and comfort were not always present. When those needs go unmet, similar challenges can follow a person into future relationships, no matter who their partner is. There is also a visible pattern of copying behavior. This happens when someone feels unsure about who they are. They may begin to borrow traits from someone they believe is already admired and accepted. In Clarissa's case, people often point to Remy Ma as that reference. This shows up not only in clothes but in posture, style, and how confidence is displayed in public. This kind of copying is less about admiration and more about seeking reassurance through resemblance. This does not make Claressa weak. It makes her human. What it shows is someone still trying to find steady ground inside herself, still measuring her value through outside opinions, and still hoping to secure love by how she presents herself instead of how safe she feels in her own skin. Here is the deeper issue, and this is where psychology becomes clear. Copying another person's style without truly making it your own never feels natural. When Remy steps into a look, it appears easy and true to who she is. When Claressa tries something similar, it can come across as forced, like wearing an outfit that does not quite fit right. Real confidence does not need extra effort. It simply shows. When attraction feels pushed instead of natural, it often points to someone trying to fill a gap, rather than celebrate who they already are. Another sign people notice is the repeated self-praise. Phrases like "I'm that girl" or "I'm not bothered" said again and again are not always signs of strong belief. Often, people who truly feel secure do not need to say it out loud. They move through life quietly confident. When someone keeps telling the world how powerful or desirable they are, it can sometimes mean they are still trying to convince themselves. This is where the role of Nigeria comes back into focus. If your stylist is also your closest companion, and that same person keeps guiding you toward looks that remind people of another woman tied to your relationship, it raises a fair question. Is this support? Or is it creating comparison? A true friend helps you stand out as yourself, not as a reflection of someone else. Styling should highlight your own identity, not place you in a shadow. Being attractive is not something you have to announce. It is something others decide on their own. When someone works too hard to prove it, most of the time they are still searching for that feeling inside. Claressa's talent is not in question. Her success is real, and her achievements speak clearly. The part that seems missing, according to many observers, is emotional grounding. Until she learns to see herself without measuring against another woman, every outfit, every post, and every relationship can start to feel like a performance instead of an honest expression. This is not about putting her down. It is about pointing out that acting confident can never fully replace feeling secure. Here is where everything connects. None of this stands alone. The way relationships unfold, the shifts in image, the public reactions, and the emotional responses all seem tied to one central need: a steady sense of self. When someone does not feel rooted in who they are, everything around them becomes a mirror. Love turns into something to earn. Attention becomes something to chase. Identity becomes something to borrow. That is why the same patterns appear again and again. Different people, new settings, but the same emotional outline. Taking on the role of the provider, comparing oneself to others, allowing a third presence to shape the dynamic, and always trying to prove desirability. These actions are not really about romance. They are about reassurance. They are about quieting a voice inside that never quite feels settled. When life is lived this way, relationships stop feeling like places of rest. They begin to feel like stages. Instead of connecting, people start competing. Instead of loving, they start managing how they are seen. Every moment becomes a test of value rather than a chance to simply be present. This also explains why public opinion can hit so hard. When self-worth depends on outside reactions, criticism does not feel like feedback. Feels like rejection. Silence feels like being left behind. Praise becomes a brief rush that fades quickly. So the search for the next moment of approval begins all over again.